fabulous friends. Princess Tessa here with another fabulous video. Welcome to my fabulous life, and I'm going to be taking you to Callaway Gardens because there is a fabulous birds of prey show that I can't wait for me to share with all of you. Now on with the show.
A lot of times we don't know why they have these features. So we're going to really focus on the owls and all of their amazing adaptations. Now, before we get into the owls though, let's start off by talking about birds of prey or raptors in general. Use this beak to do something very particular. What is that? What are they going to use it to do?
Tear, rip apart. Tear.
Slice and dice. That's right. To rip and tear prey into smaller, more manageable sized pieces, right? So there are other birds on our planet that have a hook curved beak. Can anybody think of one?
Falcons.
Yeah, falcons. Now that's a kind of bird of prey. What's another kind of bird of prey that might not be a raptor that has a hook curved beak? They can sometimes mimic what we say. Parrots. There we go. All right. So they have a hook curved beak too, but they're not using it in the way that a raptor would to rip and tear meat. Now all birds of prey are also going to have these talons, these claws on the ends of powerful toes. They will use these specifically to seize or immobilize the prey items that they are hunting. Okay, so this is what makes a bird of prey a bird of prey. This is what defines owls, hawks, falcons, eagles, kites, ospreys, and vultures as birds of prey or raptors. What makes them separate or unique representative of a diurnal bird of prey, so a daytime active raptor. So what we're going to do here is a little compare and contrast here, okay? So we're going to talk a lot about Dorset here. As a diurnal bird of prey, still going to have all of the same characteristics of every other kind of raptor, but the daytime birds also have some unique things about them that are a little bit different from the owls. So you guys, looking at Dorset here, does anybody want to take a guess? You can just say it out. You don't have to raise your hand. We're not in the classroom. What kind, I'll give you a hint, he is a hawk. Does anybody know what kind of hawk he might be?
Red-shouldered.
All right, so we have red-shouldered hawk. That's a great guess. I'll be shocked if anybody knows this, actually. What do you think?
Sharpshin.
Sharpshin hawk, excellent guess. Not quite a sharpshin hawk, but I'm glad you know what one
A Harris hawk?
A Harris's hawk is another great guess, but not quite.
A Cooper's hawk?
A Cooper's hawk is another great guess. Very similar too, right? I mean, y'all are bird nerds. Y'all like this. Y'all actually know what all of these species are. So we've had a lot of really great guesses and very close, especially with the Cooper's hawk and the Sharpshin hawk. But Dorset is actually a broad-winged hawk. Oh, right, we almost got it. So you guys, broad-winged hawks this is going to be another difference from the owls. These diurnal birds of prey, like hawks and falcons, they do rely upon speed and agility to be successful predators. You can carry prey back up to a high point, like a tree branch, in those riparian habitats. So pretty cool, right? Once again, from the owls. Even though owls do have great vision, whether it's day or night, they actually rely on another sense that we'll talk about further here in a moment, rather than their eyesight. But for daytime active birds like Dorset, vision is absolutely key. So what this species is going to do is pick a high perch like a tree branch, maybe about mid-canopy height up into the tree, and then they're going to be very still, right? So remember though, that Dorset is also fully grown, okay? Raptors come in all shapes and sizes. So taking a look at this fully grown hawk, what do y'all think this bird might like to eat out there in those wooded areas?
Mice.
Mice, chipmunks. Did I hear snakes somewhere in here? Small snakes, right? Maybe small garter snakes and ringneck snakes. Things like that are absolutely on his dinner menu. So what else besides chipmunks and mice and snakes? Lizards, absolutely. Squirrels. He might be riding a bucking bronco. Now you guys, I know that we are big creatures ourselves out in the wild. Because what we had were the big hawks and the big eagles and the big owls taking on things like big squirrels and rabbits and possums and raccoons. Well, who's going to control the populations of all the cockroaches and the mice? There wouldn't be anybody to do it, right? We'd be wading through cockroaches in a year's time. Sounds like a nightmare to me, right? So this is why whenever part in your community to conserve the wildlife that calls you neighbor, don't just focus on the big ones. Really take a look deeper into those woodlands and realize that you have all sorts of wildlife calling your area home, and that includes these smaller hawks like Dawson. Now you guys, we're going to walk him around for the remainder of his time on Miss Sarah's glove coloration on his back side or his top side. This is very typical coloration for broad-winged hawks across their range. Some species show a lot of variation from one area. Theirs happen to be yellow in color. They have this mottled kind of brown and gray and black pattern. They have a white throat patch. And then they have these distinctive things on top of their head. Now this leads us into our conversation about hearing. What do you think those things are?
Ears.
Ears. They do look like ears, right? Lie right under this stiff ring of feathers, okay? This is what we call a facial disc. All owls have a facial disc, including Olive. Olive is a barred owl, not a barn, a barred owl. This is a medium-sized brown and gray owl that is found primarily over the easternmost portion of our continent in those same wooded areas near water that you can find Dawson the broad-winged hawk, whom we met earlier. Now you guys, I'm going to take my volume down a little bit, right? Because we are meeting an owl. So as we said, hearing is vital. Owls have some of the most sensitive hearing of any organism on our planet today. She can hear every one of you breathing right now. For those of you close enough, she can pick up your individual heartbeats. Kind of creepy, but also pretty cool, right? And this hearing, this amazing sense to capture sound waves, even from vast distances, is absolutely awesome when it comes to owls like Olive. So their hearing is very unique in a wide variety of ways, right? So first off, let's talk about the spatial disc. Also, their ear openings are gigantic, okay? Massive openings in the side of their head. So just to give you an idea of how big they are, right? Our ear openings, not the cartilage part on the outside, the opening itself, it's about the end of our digit of our pinky, right? Very disc, and then guided directly into the ear openings. Now you guys, we're going to come back to Olive in just a moment. Do you see that? They're crooked on their head. This one on one side sits slightly higher and points slightly up. The one on the other side sits lower on their head and points to the continent today. Some scientists will say anywhere in the world. They also have a hooting type call. Their call is on the rhythm of someone saying, "Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you all?" So if you're a ooh, 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 kind of a call, that's a barred owl like Olive. Now they're not limited to that, okay? That's just your typical call. They can sound like howler monkeys, they can scream, they can cackle with laughter. Actually, a lot of emergency phone lines have been called into because people either think a lady is screaming behind their house or emergency responders show up. That's her rabbit, and we call her Wren. And she is more brown, kind of like fawn color. So she looks just like an eastern cottontail rabbit, and we use her in our programs now. So, yeah.
Your show was very, very good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
You brought back memories.
OMG, fabulous friends. What a fun day. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please comment down below and let me know what you think of today's video. Also, please give us a big giant thumbs up, because with every thumbs up adds a little extra sparkle to my tiara. I hope all of you dream big, live your story, and I hope you all have a fabulous day. Bye, y'all.